Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change. Today, we're talking about a coin that could literally change your life overnight. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing it's not just worth 1 cent. Imagine that same penny being worth over $5.5 million. Yes, you heard me right, a single 1-cent coin from the year 2000, specifically the Lincoln penny with a Denver Mint mark, the 2000 penny, has made headlines in the collector world for its shocking value. We're not talking thousands, not even hundreds of thousands, but millions. This is the story of how an everyday penny can make you rich beyond belief. Let's break it down. The Lincoln penny has been part of American coinage since 1909, honoring the great President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, billions of them have been produced at mints across the country. Most of them are worth face value. Some are worth maybe a few cents or a couple of dollars if they're in pristine condition. But occasionally, a special penny escapes the mint, one with unique characteristics, errors, or limited runs that make it incredibly rare. Rarity is the key in coin collecting. When rarity combines with demand, that's when prices skyrocket. The 2000 penny is one of those coins that has stunned even the most seasoned coin experts. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary copper-plated zinc penny. You might not think twice about it when you get it as change at the grocery store or find it at the bottom of a drawer. But what makes this coin different is that it's tied to a series of errors and minting varieties that have collectors scrambling to get their hands on it. Some pennies from this year and mint mark have shown doubling on the design, strange die cracks, and anomalies that make them incredibly desirable. Over time, one particular specimen of the 2000 penny was discovered, authenticated, and put on the auction block. The bidding war was unbelievable, driving the price higher and higher until it reached a jaw-dropping $5.5 million. Now, why would someone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and collector obsession. First, there may only be one or a handful of these coins in existence with the exact error and preservation that makes them stand out. Second, condition matters. Collectors are obsessed with finding coins that have never been in circulation, coins with flawless surfaces, brilliant shine, and no scratches. These are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and the higher the grade, the higher the value. And third, the collector market is fueled by passion. Wealthy collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history, and when only one exists, the price has no ceiling. Think about it. You could be sitting on a fortune right now without even knowing it. That penny in your piggy bank, that jar of loose change on your dresser, that old coffee can in the garage, any one of them could contain a Lincoln penny worth millions. People often dismiss pennies as worthless, but coin collectors know that the real treasures are often hiding in plain sight. Imagine the shock of cashing in your jar of coins and discovering that one of them isn't worth 1 cent but enough to buy a mansion, luxury cars, or even retire early. That's the magic of numismatics, the study and collecting of coins. So how do you know if you have the legendary 2000 penny? First, check the date. It must be the year 2000. Then look closely at the mint mark just below the year. If there's a small letter D, that means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Next, examine the coin carefully. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe will help you spot details. Collectors have reported doubling in the lettering, particularly on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Some examples show strange die breaks that create extra lines or shapes on the coin. If your penny looks unusual, don't dismiss it. The next step is getting your coin professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin, certify its rarity, and assign it a grade. This certification is what makes collectors confident when they bid at auction. Without it, you'll have a tough time proving that your penny is worth millions. But with the right certification, you could find yourself in possession of a life-changing piece of currency. Let's put this in perspective. A penny worth $5.5 million is more valuable than some rare cars, luxury jewelry, or even certain paintings. It's one of the most extraordinary price tags ever attached to a modern US coin. And while it might sound unbelievable, the coin market is full of surprises like this. Over the years, countless ordinary-looking coins have been discovered to be worth fortunes, from the 1943 copper penny to the 1955 double die, to the 1969 double die penny. Each time, collectors and treasure hunters are reminded that money isn't always just money, it can be history, rarity, and art all wrapped up in a single piece of metal. So the next time you get a handful of change, don't rush to spend it. Take a moment to check your pennies. Look at the year, look at the mint mark, and look for errors. Who knows, you might be holding the next record-breaking coin. Imagine turning a single cent into millions. That's not just a good investment, that's the kind of story people dream about, the kind of story that makes headlines. At the end of the day, the 2000 Lincoln penny is a reminder that treasures are still out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who takes the time to look. Could that someone be you? Will you be the next person to find a $5.5 million penny in your pocket? There's only one way to find out: start searching, start learning, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. Have you ever stopped to think that the change sitting in your pocket right now could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a mansion, even more than some people's lifetime earnings? The truth is, one single coin, one single penny could change your life forever. Today we are going to dive into one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of coins, the 1989 Lincoln cent that has shocked collectors, dealers, and treasure hunters all across the globe. This is no ordinary coin, this is a 1 cent piece minted over 3 decades ago, and yet today it carries a jaw-dropping value of $5.5 million. That's right, a penny worth $5.5 million, a penny that could make you rich overnight. Now imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of change on your dresser, maybe you're rolling up coins for the bank, maybe you're checking through your pocket change from a grocery run, and suddenly your eye catches a 1989 penny. It looks so ordinary, it's just another Lincoln cent, the kind you've seen thousands of times since childhood. But what if that coin in your hand isn't ordinary at all? What if you're holding one of the most valuable coins in American history? What if you are holding a penny that could instantly transform your life? The 1989 Lincoln cent is already familiar to everyone: Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's a coin minted by the billions, and yet within that massive production there are rare varieties, errors, and mysterious issues that turn this common coin into a treasure chest. Some of these coins slipped through the cracks of the minting process, carrying defects, mistakes, or unique characteristics that make them one of a kind. And when a coin is one of a kind, collectors go wild, investors throw down massive sums of money, and suddenly the most ordinary looking penny becomes a multi-million-dollar jackpot. So what makes this particular 1989 penny worth over $5 million? The answer lies in rarity, uniqueness, and the insatiable demand among coin collectors. The rarest examples of the 1989 Lincoln cent show features that should never have left the mint: doubling in the letters, strange off-center strikes, or even mismatched planchets where the wrong metal was used. Some 1989 pennies were struck on transitional planchets using the wrong composition from earlier years. These bizarre minting mistakes instantly transform a 1 cent coin into a treasure more valuable than gold. In fact, collectors have fought bidding wars over such rarities and driven the price into the millions. Now here's where it gets even more exciting: the average person can stumble upon one of these pennies without even knowing it. You don't need to be a coin dealer, you don't need to spend years hunting at auctions. It could be hiding in your piggy bank, sitting in a coffee can full of loose change tucked away in a drawer, or even handed to you in everyday circulation. That's why coin collectors across the world always remind people: check your change, because treasures are out there waiting to be discovered. Think about it: one moment you're holding a penny worth 1 cent, the next moment you realize you're holding a piece of history that can pay off your mortgage, buy you a sports car, cover your kids' college tuition, and still leave you with millions left over. This is the type of discovery that creates headlines. This is the type of story that makes ordinary people overnight millionaires. But how do you know if your 1989 penny is the $5.5 million variety? First, you need to look closely, very closely. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or jeweler's loupes to study the smallest details on a coin. For the 1989 penny, you want to pay attention to doubling on the letters, especially the word Liberty and the date. Look at the motto, "In God We Trust." If you see unusual shadows or thickness that shouldn't be there, you may have struck gold, so to speak. Next, check the reverse side. Some rare Errors involve doubling on the Lincoln Memorial or unusual marks around the steps. Another thing to look for is the planchet or the coin's metal composition. Some rare 1989 pennies were accidentally struck on copper planchets from earlier years rather than the standard zinc planchet by 1989. These transitional errors are extremely rare and can command astronomical prices at auction. If you happen to have one, you are literally holding millions in your hand. The coin world thrives on rarity and excitement. Every year collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the rarest coins, from the 1943 copper penny to the 1955 double die cent. History is full of examples where 1-cent coins were valued at hundreds of thousands or even millions, but the 1989 Lincoln cent, standing tall with a staggering $5.5 million value, takes the crown as one of the most jaw-dropping coin stories of. Also, the next time you get change at a store, don't just toss those pennies aside. Don't just let them gather dust in a jar. Every coin tells a story, every coin carries history, and every coin has the chance to be the key to unimaginable fortune. Your wealth, your dream house, your dream car, even your entire future could be hiding in a handful of change. Think about the excitement of being that one lucky person who finds the 1989 penny worth millions. The headlines would scream, "Local man finds $5 million penny," or "Woman becomes millionaire overnight thanks to rare cent." This is not a fantasy. It is reality for those who take the time to look carefully, who pay attention to details, who treat every coin as a potential lottery ticket without the risk. So I challenge you today, right after this video ends, go grab your change jar, open your wallet, check the cushions of your couch, dig into that old coin collection you inherited from your grandparents. Take a close look at every 1989 penny you find, because who knows, you might just be sitting on one of the rarest, most valuable treasures in the coin collecting world. And the best part is, it costs you nothing, just a few minutes of your time. One penny can change everything. One penny can make you rich overnight, and that penny might just be waiting for you right now. The 1989 Lincoln cent, a humble coin worth 1 cent on its face value, but worth $5.5 million on the open market. A coin that proves once again that hidden treasures are out there, and they are closer than you think. So keep searching, keep checking, and remember, fortune favors the curious. Don't underestimate the power of a penny, because the penny in your pocket could be the ticket to a brand new life. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting discoveries in coin collecting history, and this is about a Lincoln 1-cent coin from the year 1980 that has stunned collectors, investors, and everyday people alike, because its market value today is not just a few $100s, not just a few $1,000s, but an unbelievable $5.9 million. Imagine that, a single penny that could change your life forever and turn you from ordinary to rich overnight. Now let's take a journey through this incredible story, because the Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, when it was first struck to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The design has gone through changes over the decades, but the 1980 penny is special in a way that most people never realized, and that is why this 1-cent coin that so many people might overlook in their change jar or coin collection could be worth more than luxury houses, exotic cars, or even a lifetime fortune. The 1980 Lincoln penny was struck at a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of coins per year, and most people think every penny from that period is common, ordinary, and practically worthless. But what separates the $5.9 million penny from the billions of others is a combination of rarity, condition, and error. Striking, it is believed that only a handful of these special 1980 pennies exist, and the one that sold for millions was preserved in flawless condition, graded at the highest levels possible by professional grading services. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that looks like every other coin, but under the eyes of experts it becomes a treasure unlike anything you could imagine. Collectors call these examples once-in-a-lifetime finds, because the odds of a coin surviving circulation without damage, scratches, or wear are almost zero, yet this coin somehow remained pristine, and when placed on the auction block it set bidding records and made headlines around the world. Now let's talk about why the value reached $5.9 million. It is not just about the rarity, it is about demand. Collectors worldwide want to own unique pieces of history. They want the bragging rights of having a coin that no one else has, and when a coin like this appears for sale, wealthy buyers compete fiercely, pushing the price higher and higher until it reaches numbers that sound unreal but are absolutely real in the coin collecting world. This is what creates those millionaire pennies that people dream about finding in their pocket change. So the big question is, could you have one of these pennies in your home right now? The answer is yes, it is possible, but very rare. That is why you should always check your pennies, especially those from the 1980s. Look for sharp details, flawless surfaces, and any unusual features that might separate your coin from the common ones. And if you think you have something special, the next step is to have it Graded by a professional coin grading service because their certification is what unlocks the true market value of a coin. Think about it, someone once had that $5.9 million penny sitting in a jar or tucked away in a box, and today that coin has the power to change lives, and that is why the Lincoln penny has become one of the most fascinating coins to ever exist, because it proves that even the smallest piece of money can carry the biggest treasure. Collectors say the hunt is what makes the hobby thrilling. Every time you search through your coins, every time you open a roll of pennies from the bank or check the change you get at the store, you could be holding history in your hand. Maybe not $5.9 million, but possibly thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, because other rare Lincoln pennies have sold for huge amounts too. Now let's break it down. The ordinary 1980 penny is made mostly of copper-plated zinc, and billions were made, but among them certain errors and rare mint conditions stand out. There are pennies with double dies, pennies with off-center strikes, pennies with high-grade mint state conditions that have never been touched by circulation, and those coins can skyrocket in value from pocket change to life-changing money. And when you hear about the $5.9 million sale, it reminds everyone that lightning can strike, and the rarest examples are still out there waiting to be found. The Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it is a symbol of history, of value, and of opportunity. It shows us that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, and that the next millionaire coin could be sitting in someone's drawer right now. The message here is simple: never ignore your change, never pass up the chance to check your pennies, because that 1-cent coin could be the ticket to wealth beyond imagination. So as we wrap up, remember this one simple coin from 1980, a Lincoln penny sold for $5.9 million, and it shocked the world. What might be sitting in your pocket today waiting to be discovered is a question only you can answer. Take the time, search your coins, learn the details, and who knows, you might be the next person to wake up rich overnight thanks to a tiny 1-cent piece. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and exciting stories in the entire world of coin collecting. Imagine this for a second. You are going through your spare change, maybe emptying out your pockets after work, or digging through that old jar of coins that has been sitting on the dresser for years. You pick up a simple brown penny, something you have probably seen thousands of times in your life. But this time, the coin in your hand is no ordinary penny. This time, you are holding a 1974 Lincoln cent, a coin that has been reported in the coin market to have a potential value reaching as high as $3.9 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1-cent coin worth nearly $4 million. That is the kind of story that makes people's jaws drop, and it is exactly why collectors and treasure hunters alike are obsessed with Lincoln pennies. Now let's take a journey into the history of this legendary penny. The year was 1974. The United States Mint was experimenting with alternatives to the copper used in Lincoln cents. The price of copper was rising dramatically, and officials were worried that it was becoming too expensive to continue making pennies out of the traditional copper alloy. So what did they do? They began producing experimental cents struck in aluminum. These prototype pennies were lightweight, shiny, and unlike anything the public had seen before. About 1.5 million aluminum cents were struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1974, and some were distributed to members of Congress for review. But here's the twist. None of those coins were ever supposed to enter circulation. The Mint quickly decided to recall and destroy them, but as with so many incredible numismatic stories, not all of them made it back. Some slipped through the cracks and ended up in private hands. The 1974 aluminum cent instantly became one of the rarest and most talked about coins in American history. The U.S. government has even taken legal action to recover surviving examples. It's that rare and that valuable. Imagine the thrill of stumbling upon one of these pennies in your change. That is where the multi-million-dollar price tag comes into play. One example of a 1974 experimental cent has been valued by experts at nearly $3.9 million, making it one of the most valuable 1-cent coins in existence. A coin that most people would pass over without a second glance could transform an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. Let's pause for a moment and think about what that means. This is not a rare gold coin from the 1800s. This is not a piece of treasure pulled from the bottom of the ocean. This is a penny from within living memory, a coin dated 1974, a year many of us or our parents and grandparents can clearly remember. That makes it all the more astonishing. Coins like this are still out there. They could be sitting in a collection, forgotten in a drawer, or hiding in a roll of pennies waiting to be discovered. Now let's talk about value and why collectors are willing to pay such insane amounts for these coins. The value of any rare coin is driven by three key factors: rarity, demand, and condition. The 1974 aluminum penny checks all three boxes. It is incredibly rare because only a handful escaped destruction. Demand is sky high because the Lincoln cent is the most widely collected coin in the United States. Millions of people collect them, from casual hobbyists to professional numismatists with deep pockets. And condition matters because collectors want the sharpest, cleanest examples. If a 1974 aluminum cent is found in pristine uncirculated condition, the price tag can go through the roof. That's how you get to the unbelievable figure of $3.9 million, but here's something important to understand. Not every 1974 penny is worth millions. Most 1974 Lincoln cents you find in your pocket change are the regular copper alloy coins that were issued by the billions. They may have some small collector value if they are in perfect condition or if they have an error, but they are not the million-dollar versions. The Holy Grail is the aluminum cent, the one that was never meant to be released to the public. That is the coin that could change your life. So how do you know if you have one? First, the weight. A normal copper 1974 penny weighs about 3.11 grams, but the experimental aluminum cent weighs only about 0.93 grams. That's less than 1/3 the weight of the normal penny. If you hold it in your hand, you can feel the difference instantly. Second, the appearance. An aluminum cent will look bright and silvery, not the traditional copper color you are used to. If you come across a penny that looks like it's made of a light silver metal and it is dated 1974, stop everything you are doing and have it authenticated. Do not clean it, do not scratch it, and do not try to polish it. Just get it verified by a professional coin grading service, because if it is real, you may be holding a multi-million-dollar treasure. Now picture this. 1 cent coin, something you would normally toss aside, suddenly catapulting you into the ranks of the rich and famous. That is why people love this hobby. Coin collecting is not just about dusty albums and old metal discs. It is about the thrill of the hunt, the possibility of finding something extraordinary in the most ordinary places. The 1974 aluminum penny is proof that treasure still exists, not buried in the ground, but right in our everyday lives. The next time you get change at the grocery store, the next time you crack open that piggy bank, the next time you sort through rolls of pennies from the bank, keep your eyes open. You never know what you might find. Remember, a coin worth millions could be waiting for you. A coin struck more than 40 years ago, forgotten by time, suddenly turning an average person into a millionaire overnight. This is not just a story about money. It is a story about history, about the decisions made at the U.S. Mint, about the collectors who preserve our past, and about the thrill of discovery. And most of all, it is about hope. The hope that maybe, just maybe, the next incredible treasure could fall right into your hands. So the question is, will you be the lucky one? Will you be the person who stumbles across the 1974 aluminum penny worth nearly $3.9 million? Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows? That jar of coins on your dresser might just be your ticket to riches beyond your wildest imagination.